It shouldn't be so difficult for Miriam Rodriguez seeing this machine.
That takes me back. It makes me so angry.
When this machine for sleep apnea stopped working, her husband, 77-year-old Natalio, stopped breathing in the middle of the night in Maunabo, the southeastern part of the island.
Suddenly he started to shake, and I saw him get on the floor, and I couldn't do nothing to help him. That's why I say that if we had electricity, normal electricity at that time, he couldn't be alive. Still today, he couldn't be alive.
She blames Hurricane Maria for wiping out the island's power. At least 120,000 customers still don't have power nearly 6 months later. The night her husband died, months after the storm, Miriam says their generator ran out of gas, leaving her home without power for the machine her husband needed to breathe. Natalio's grave is one of many this year. CNN has identified at least 5 deaths from 2018, identified by families, doctors, or funeral homes as related to Hurricane Maria. Among them, Braulio Salinas Santiago. His family tells us he died of a heart attack in the parking lot of Maunabo's clinic, waiting for the clinic to open. The mayor says after Maria, the town can't afford to run the once 24-hour service. Carmen Rodriguez Martinez, her family tells us she died because she didn't have power for the machine she depended on for oxygen.
Con mucha necesidad.
Dr. Arturo Torres listed Hurricane Maria as a contributing factor on her death certificate.
Is Maria still killing people?
Yes, yes. I'm sure that my case is not an isolated case, since there is no electrical power in many places that will accelerate the end of the life in that person's.
El otro muchacho de casi 40 años.
Cemetery workers tell us the number of deaths have doubled since the storm, pointing to dozens of graves they believe are related. Graves that cemetery workers tell us will not be getting a headstone anytime soon because families can't afford them after Maria. Natalio's family paid $4,000 for his funeral, still owes $1,000. To qualify for assistance from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the death must be certified as hurricane-related. But Puerto Rico's list of certified deaths hasn't changed since early December. The official death toll stands at 64, even though the government's own death statistics in 2017 show an increase of at least 1,000 more deaths after Hurricane Maria compared to the previous 2 years. The Puerto Rican government has now ordered a review of deaths since Maria. Dr. Torres says the elderly and those with complicated health conditions are too vulnerable to resist the challenges brought on by Maria.
So just last week, they had a death.
Do you think you'll have to write Maria again on a death certificate?
I don't discard it. In my opinion, yes.
That's hard to hear. Is it hard to say?
It's hard to say, yes.
Even harder to accept that 6 months later,
That wasn't a normal death. That wasn't.
Maria is still destroying lives.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah, Quadash, Barakatha. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and making their body a living sacrifice for Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And of course, the reason why I brought out Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17 is from this video. You know, what you're seeing in this video is a prime example of you so-called Puerto Ricans, okay, vanity, thinking that the controlled puppet of Puerto Rico, okay, which is directly controlled by the American government, is going to save you. Thinking that, all right? It's vanity, all right? And just from this video alone, you can see, man, how it's a ploy, it's a deceitful, okay, act between the government of Puerto Rico and the government of America, man, all right? For them, the Puerto Rican government, to say that the death toll is only 64, so to say that the deaths that are happening now in Puerto Rico 6 months later does not have a direct result from Hurricane Maria is wicked, man. All right? And shame on you Puerto Ricans to really think that the Puerto Rican government, which is controlled by the American government, is going to save you, man. All right? So let me read this again. This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet fail for our vain help. Right, man, it's vain, it's vanity, okay? To think that you're going to be delivered from your problems, to be saved, rescued, all right, from, okay, these politicians, these Congress men and women, all right? Because the only one that could save you is the God of Israel, all right? Who the world calls God and who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, okay? Because through his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, all right, which his real name is Yahushua, he can only save you. He can only deliver you out of, okay, harm's way. But a government, a nation, nah. Especially, okay, Puerto Rico, which is not even a government, man. It's a controlled, okay, U.S. territory. So it's vain. It's a vain help, man, to think that they're going to deliver you from, okay, the atrocities of Hurricane Maria. All right? In our watching, we have watched for a nation that cannot save us. Right? They're not going to save you, man. All right? So I'm going to bring out an article proving so, man. All right? Because, hey, man, Puerto Rico, all right, is just a U.S. territory. And that island's there, all right, to exploit, to rob, okay, to gather resources for the so-called white man, all right? And that's it, man. And your leaders, okay, the so-called Puerto Rican leaders of that country, all right, are sellouts and coons, and they're just working for the so-called white man. And that's it, all right? And I make a disclaimer here. I am a so-called Puerto Rican, all right? So I'm telling you to your face, all right? You so-called Puerto Ricans, which are from the tribe of Ephraim, because we're not Puerto Ricans, we're from the tribe of Ephraim, all right? You better wake up, all right? Or you're going to get more judgment coming to you, all right? And it's going to happen because, okay, we here at Great Millstone know through the scriptures that majority are not going to wake up. So you're going to be destroyed in these last days, all right? And they're oppressed, all right, by these devils. And ultimately, why? Because the God of Israel is all for it. He's sanctioning it because you don't want to turn back to him. We'll get into that. So now let me get to this article because this is plain, man, all right? Tampa Bay Times. 6 months after Hurricane Maria, Puerto Rico pleads for help. 6 months later, all right? You know, so Donald Trump can't help you, man, all right? And, you know, he was making a mockery, too, out of you so-called Puerto Ricans, all right? Shooting paper towels at you like it's a sport, all right? Because that's how these crackers think of you, man. All right, they look at you as lowlives and scum of the earth. All right, you got to understand that. But if you don't, it's okay. All right, they're gonna still screwing you over. The article came out March 16, 2018. It's from the Tampa Bay Times. Goes on and says, Hurricane Maria shredded the electric poles in this plantain farming town high in the mountain of central Puerto Rico, leaving tens of thousands of people without power or running water. All right? That's why, you know, America can't save you, man. Look at them. 6 months later, and look at this. Desperate, residents of the towns of Barrio Mana neighborhood asked federal officials for a generator to pump water from the well that supplies the neighborhood's 130 families. That was nearly 6 months ago. All right? There you have it, man. All right? But you so-called Puerto Ricans, you better wake the hell up, all right? Today, like everyone in Barrio Mana, World War II veteran Antonio Morales, 93, sleeps in a single-story concrete home with no running water. Wow, man. So that's how America, the government of America, all right, these politicians treat, okay, a World War II veteran, all right? It proves that, all right, you soldiers, all right, you military soldiers, man, all right, the American government don't give a damn about you, all right? You're just pawns for their agenda. So let me bring out that, because this scripture, reading that had the scripture in my mind, so I'm going to bring this out, all right? Because look what they're doing to a World War II veteran, okay? And it's deeper because guess what? He's from the tribe of Ephraim, so they're like, all right, we're done with you, with you so-called Puerto Rican. You did what you needed to do, serve us, and now go ahead and die quietly. That's how they look at us, at our people, man. All right? The so-called white man's your enemy. You need to understand that. But you don't, so it's all right. So the Lord's going to make sure you understand by allowing these crackers to jack you up, all right? Because ultimately, it's your judgment. There's a book of Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26. And I'm going to start at verse 28. There be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry. A man of war that suffereth poverty. Exactly, man. All right? He's a World War II veteran, man. All right? And he has no running water. All right? That should anger you so-called Puerto Ricans that are still fighting for this country, man. America. All right? That's how they treat you, man, when you're done serving in the military. They don't give a damn about you, all right? He's a World War II veteran. The American government should at least help him out, all right? He's suffering poverty with no running water, all right? Let me continue on. Its floor covered with dozens of gallon jugs and plastic buckets of water that his nurse uses to bathe him. Look at that, man. Using jugs of water to bathe him. All right? That you so-called Puerto Ricans from the tribe of Ephraim, you better wake up, man. All right? And the rest of you Israelites that are watching this video, man. All right? If you're still in the American military, get out now. World War III is about to happen. Okay? Vladimir Putin just got reelected, and he ain't playing games with America. He's going to fuck this country up royally. All right? And that's through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Because the God of Israel is tired of America. All right? And is tired of our people who believe in a nation who believe in a nation that can't help them, man. That can't save them. Let me continue on. And men of understanding that are not set by. Right, man. We have the understanding through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, but you show no respect to us. All right? You hold us in contempt. All right? You scorn at us. We have understanding, man. We see what's going on. All right? That's the reason why the Lord is going to continue jacking up, okay, you so-called Puerto Ricans and the rest of you tribes, man. All right? Because you look at us with an evil eye, man. When we're out here giving you the truth. The so-called white man is your enemy. He's Esau according to the Bible. Okay? The God of Israel, all right, wants you to stop sinning. Turn back to him. But you don't, it's all right. He'll make sure that the so-called white man fucks you up. All right? And one that returneth from righteousness to sin. The Lord prepares such and one for the sword. Right, man. At one point, us as a tribe, okay, as all the 12 tribes, we were righteous. But then we turned away from the Lord. And now a sword's pursuing it towards us. So if we don't come back to righteousness, following the law, statutes, and commandments, the Lord's going to make sure that the sword come upon us in various ways. All right? And you see that Hurricane Maria, man, that was through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai at the end of the day. He made sure that hurricane ran through Puerto Rico, man, to judge, okay, you wicked so-called Puerto Ricans, man. Let's continue on. Hey, I'll just read this part real quickly. Quote, Barrio Mana is not even on the government's radar. Look at that, man. The government doesn't even care about a World War II veteran. Yo, y'all better wake up, said Morales' 61-year-old daughter-in-law. Maria Perez, her eyes filled with tears. Quote, practically no one has shown up here, end quote. That's what happens, man. And, you know, that should get you angry, man. That's how these so-called white people, these Edomites, look at our people, man. We fight in their wars, and yet they don't take care of us. All right? Let me go now to Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord. Right. Death and destruction, okay, to our people, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right? But this video is mainly aimed at you so-called Puerto Ricans, all right? Because you are from the tribe of Ephraim, all right? We are not Puerto Ricans. We are from the tribe of Ephraim, all right? But you want to be rebellious. You want to hold on to being from Puerto Rico. Wave that fucking stupid, pathetic flag, all right? So the Lord said, woe to you, meaning death and destruction, all right? Children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me. Right, you take counsel with the fucking devil, all right? Pleading to the American government to take care of your ass. And 6 months later, you're still fucked up. No electricity, no running water. All right? But not of me. And that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. Right? Because really, the reason why Puerto Rico got judged is because you so-called Puerto Ricans, you engage in idolatry, man. You engage in nothing but wickedness, folly. All right? So you're adding sin to sin. So the Lord's going to make sure he judges you according to your wicked deeds. Okay? Verse 2. That walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. And that's where the reason why, and that's where it really lies at, man. You so-called Puerto Ricans, you trust in the shadow of Egypt, which is America. Okay? America's spiritual Egypt. That's why you have the pyramid on the dollar bill. Okay? You trust in it. Okay? You go to it pleading that it takes care of you. And look what it has done to you. It has destroyed that country, man. Your country. All right? Our country. All right? At that point in time. Because really, if you really look at it, it's really not our country, man. Our homeland is Jerusalem, Israel. All right? But that's what's going on, man. Because you want to trust in the shadow of Egypt, destruction to you, man. Verse 3, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Right, and you're in a bunch of confusion. Because look, point blank period, man. It's 6 months, and more people are dying in Puerto Rico. All right? FEMA don't give a damn. Because FEMA says there's a technicality. The deaths are not being certified by the puppet controlled government that we control. All right? So we don't see the name on the death certificate of those that died from Hurricane Maria. So no, we're not giving you resources. All right? So that's to your confusion, you so-called Puerto Ricans. Your confusion. But keep playing with the Lord, man. It's all right. He's going to bring more pain, more destruction to that island. Guess what? It's 2018. Hurricane season is coming up again. It's right around the corner. All right? Let's see how many hurricanes hit Puerto Rico this year. All right? Let's continue on. Hosea. The book of Hosea. Chapter 4, verse 17. Ephraim, which are you so-called Puerto Ricans, is joined to idols. Joined to idols. Let him alone. All right? And which is the main idol you are joined to? Here we go. You see this? All right? Who you call Jesus Christos, all right? You are joined to this idol. This disgusting thing right here. All right? Nowhere in the scriptures does it describe him looking like that. Nowhere in the scriptures does this say to worship this. Okay? But this is why you're joined to idols, man. And that's why Puerto Rico got... and this is the reason why you keep joining to them idols. And that's why Puerto Rico got jacked up. Because you joining to idols. All right? Pay attention, man. All right? Because this, okay, disgusting image is this Cesare Borgia. He's from the 6th Pope. He's the son of the 6th Pope of Rome, Rodrigo Borgia. All right? Hey, they made a Showtime series about it. The Rodrigo, the Borgias, the Borgias. All right? They were known as the original crime family. All right? And here they are. There's the Showtime of it. All right? So yeah, you keep worshiping this idol, you so-called Puerto Ricans, the Lord's going to jack you up. All right? And he's going to make sure you get put to death in these last days. It's just plain. It is a fact. All right? Because the Bible says not to worship idols. All right? And you, and especially you so-called Puerto Ricans, that's what you're known for, man. Idol worshiping. You got the crucifix around your neck. All right? With this image on it. You've got statues and saints all throughout your apartments and your house. All right? You think the Lord is pleased with that? No, he's not. And he's going to judge you because of it. Continuing on. Let's go to the next scripture. Isaiah chapter 28. Isaiah chapter 28 verse 1. Woe to the crown of pride, to the drunkards of Ephraim. Right. Death and destruction again. Woe to you. All right. And what happened in Puerto Rico is a prime example.
Changing your cat's litter?
Salakia.
Then change your cat's litter.
All right. That's a prime example. All right. Of what happened. Because you so-called Puerto Ricans are drunk off the philosophies of the so-called white man. All right. Roman Catholicism, all right, democracy, okay? You're literally following after the shadow of Egypt, and it's done nothing but screwed you over. Look at the condition of Puerto Rico today, all right? And you've been in U.S. territory for how long? Come on. Whose glorious beauty is a fading flower, which are on the head of the fat valleys, of them that are overcome with wine. Right, the philosophies, all right? The philosophies of America, the philosophies of the so-called white man, who are known as Esau, Edom, according to the Bible, all right? Verse 2, behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one. Listen up to you so-called Puerto Ricans. Behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hail and the destroying storm, Hurricane Maria was that destroying storm that the Lord sent, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing. Right. You had a whole bunch. The Puerto Rico got flooded. Okay. Shall cast down to earth with the hand. Right. So it was of Yahweh Bashim Awashai that judged Puerto Rico. All right. For your wicked acts, your wicked deeds. All right. Verse 3. The crown of pride, the drunkards of Ephraim shall be trodden on their feet. Right. And that's what happened. A lot of deaths. Over 1,000, all right? And that's what they're speculating. They don't have the numbers, all right? And there's going to be more. The death toll is going to rise and consistently rise because we're in the last days. It's judgment. So you so-called Puerto Ricans, you better turn back to your true power or the Lord's going to destroy you, all right? For not turning back to him, okay? The book of Hosea, back to Hosea. Hosea. All right. Also, Ephraim. I just want to make this disclaimer. Ephraim is also synonymous with the Northern Kingdom. So, yes, Ephraim is known as the so-called Puerto Ricans. But a lot of times when the scriptures say Ephraim, all right, it's talking about the Northern Kingdom. And that's talking about you so-called Dominicans, you so-called Cubans, Colombians, North American Indians, Seminole Indians, Brazilians, Argentinians, and Bolivians, and so on and so forth. All right. So you are the Lord's chosen people. If you don't want to turn back to him, he's going to judge you like he's judging Puerto Rico. All right. And he is judging you South American countries, because you're catching financial and economic hell. Look at Venezuela. Y'all eating each other if you're from Venezuela. Hey, that should put fear in you so-called Puerto Ricans that don't have running water, right? Hey, the next hurricane can decimate you where you don't have food, and then you're going to eat each other like the Venezuelans are eating each other, so-called Venezuelans, which are from the tribe of Asher, all right? Because the Lord's not playing games with our people, man. All right? And you Northern Kingdom, you got a lot coming to y'all. Because y'all think because you light-skinned, all right, that you can blend in with the so-called white man. No, he hates your guts too. All right? You better wake the fuck up. Hosea chapter 5, and I'm going to start at 3. I know Ephraim and Israel is not hid from me. Do you see that? I know Ephraim and Israel is not hid from me. Right. So you can't hide from the Lord. You can't hide your evil deeds, your wicked acts. He sees everything. That's why he judged Puerto Rico. Okay? For now, O Ephraim, thou committest whoredom, and Israel is defiled. Right. You committed whoredom, spiritual adultery, spiritual fornication with the philosophies of America. All right? Asking the so-called white man for help who don't give a damn about you, who don't give a fuck about you. Okay? Verse 4. They will not frame their doings to turn onto their power. Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right. This judgment in Puerto Rico should put fear in your heart to make you want to turn back to the Lord. But once again, you won't. 2/3 of you will continue back in your folly. Okay? So the Lord's going to have to deal with you. For the spirit of whoredom is in the midst of them. You see that? The spirit of whoredom is in the midst of them. Spiritual fornication, spiritual idolatry. Okay? Worshipping idols like this maggot. So you will be destroyed because of it. All right? They have not known the Lord. Right? You don't know the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? Because if you did know, you would turn back to his law, statutes, and commandments and be a Hebrew Israelite, not a so-called Puerto Rican. Where's Puerto Rico in the Bible? What is the nation of Puerto Rico in the Bible? It doesn't exist because it's not, okay, part of the tribes and the nations that the Lord created, okay? Read Genesis 10. Verse 5. And the pride of Israel doth testify to his face, therefore shall Israel and Ephraim fall in their iniquity. Boom. What happened to Puerto Rico? It fell in their iniquity. All right? Now they're in distress. They're begging for help. And no one's going to deliver them. No one's going to save them. All right? Because the only one that can save you is the God of Israel. Through his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. His name is Yahushai. All right? Period. Therefore shall Israel and Ephraim fall in their iniquity. Judah also shall fall with them. Right. And that's the southern kingdom. You so-called Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians. You see how the Lord has got all the tribes covered? All the tribes will be judged according to their works. And if your works are evil, you'll be judged according to your evil works. And that's being put to death. And Puerto Rico is a prime example. And there's many other examples. Okay, many other atrocities that are happening to our people to this very day because they don't refuse to turn back to the Lord. All right? And they continue to ask these other nations who don't give a fuck about you for help. So that's your judgment, man. All right? So Lord willing, this was edifying to the sincere Akim, okay, who are from the tribe of Ephraim, you so-called Puerto Ricans, all right? This was edifying. As the rest of the other tribes that are watching, but this is mainly towards the so-called Puerto Ricans, all right, who are known as the tribe of Ephraim. Lord willing, this is edifying, all right? Lord willing, this put fear in your heart to keep you, okay, to turn you back to the Lord, all right, and to keep you in these scriptures. It put fear in my heart, all right? That's why I don't want to claim to be Puerto Rican. I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Ephraim, all right? I denounce that, okay? That identity that they put, that wicked identity, because that was a wicked identity to put upon us, because that's not who we are. We're Israelites. So I denounce that, all right? I'm not Puerto Rican. I'm a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Ephraim, all right? And Lord willing, you see what I saw, all right? But that's through the spare power of Yahweh Bashim El Shai, and you wake up and come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. And with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah, Kodash, Barakatah. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and making their body a living sacrifice for Yahweh Bashim El Shai. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring. Keep the faith. As you can see from these articles, we're almost out of here. Judgment is flowing. Okay? We're at the end. And with that, shalom.